Hi, this is Lauren Baker, Search Engine Journal, and with me I have Dennis Yu, the CTO of Portage. Hey Dennis, how's it going?
Great, Lauren. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's great to catch up. So I hear there are a lot of changes going on in the world of Facebook from a technical perspective. What's new and what should marketers prepare for?
So the big change that you're seeing in terms of the sea change is the marketing automation integration. So
Right.
with Facebook, if you don't have your plumbing in place, your marketing automation, your tag management, your content marketing, all of your paid search integrated with pixels to Facebook, you're not even in the game for being able to drive conversions on Facebook. Because 3 or 4 years ago, as people were building their audiences, it was just about reach and engagement and playing with the new platform, but now
Yes.
people are sophisticated. Now there's a lot of things with the Ads API. Now there's
Yep.
integration, like you saw last week's announcement with Atlas, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean for
growing
ad serving?
into the ad exchange, right?
Yeah.
So taking it off of Facebook, which is it's exciting stuff, you know. And it's not just as simple as hitting the boost button, which a lot of folks do, right?
The boost button is the equivalent of sending out an email blast, right?
Right.
Everyone gets the same message. And I know there is a little bit of optimized CPM and lookalike audiences and that kind of stuff when you do hit boost, but now us as Facebook marketers, or if Facebook's one of the many things that we do, we have to be super, super targeted. And that means if you don't have your audience segmentation in terms of custom audiences,
Yep.
your marketing pixels, if you don't have, so if you've got hundreds of little audiences, just like you might have hundreds or thousands of keywords in Google AdWords, you need to have hundreds or thousands of little pieces of content based on where people are in the flow, where they are in the relationship, the country, the products that they use, the fact that they just abandoned the shopping cart, right? So
Yep.
I would ask anyone here, do you have those things in place? Because if you don't, you're not going to see success on Facebook like you could be, because Facebook is an amplification of other assets you already have. You already have
Yeah.
to have an email list. You already have to have a big web audience.
Yeah. If you are not speaking to the consumer through the different stages of that purchasing decision-making process and continuously showing the same banner, the same ad over and over again, nothing's going to click, right? It's not going to make a difference. And you know, speaking of content and writing and targeting various different segments in Facebook, it sounds like there's a much well-rounded skill set needed, almost taking a Renaissance-style approach to being able to communicate effectively.
Absolutely. So there's no such thing as a social media marketer anymore. Sorry to disappoint a lot of people that have branded themselves as that on
Well,
LinkedIn.
there's no such thing as an SEO anymore, too, right?
Right, because if you think of Facebook as an amplifier of everything else that you're already doing, you're taking advantage of the content you already have, of the audiences you already have, and amplifying it, right? The marketing calendar, the promotions you already have, you're amplifying that. Well, guess what? You're now an SEO person because you're getting third-party endorsement on other sites. You're a content marketer because you're creating the content, because if you don't have that cred yourself,
Yep.
you can't interview these other people and hold a candle at the same level. You're a paid search marketer because you're having to pay to play. You can't just
Yep.
put the content out there, right? So anything that's good, that works organically, it's fuel on the fire, right? You're gasoline on the fire. Now you're a PR person because you have to maintain these different relationships and think about what the angle is. It's not just, I'm a guy sitting behind my favorite SEO tool or Power Editor or that kind of thing. You have to be all of those things. And probably the most difficult thing is you have to be a marketing strategist.
Yes.
Because you've got to communicate the value and coordinate with all these other channels. You have to do internal training of the people that we work with. It doesn't matter if it's small business or someone who's a mid-level corporate marketer, VP of marketing. You got to prove the ROI to these other people. You have to get the audiences, you have to get the content, and you got to go to them, because otherwise they think about you as an afterthought when there's a campaign.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking about content, everyone processes different forms of content in different ways, right? So a lot of the times when folks talk about Facebook, whether it's advertising or just page management, a lot of it's the written word or even just like a visual ad. But video is such a huge component of Facebook that you see a lot of video sharing. But I think there's a large opportunity there from an advertising perspective as well.
Absolutely. So the Autoplay Video Ads you may have seen start. Our CEO, Alex Haug, he was interviewed by USA Today a few weeks ago, and he was looking at Ice Bucket Challenge versus Ferguson and how the video was so effective, especially when you tag other people, right? And now that that's an ad unit, that's one of the 10 ad units that's now available. Think of all the amplification that you can do. And when people click on a video to watch it, even if it doesn't send a social signal, that is counted in the algorithm.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Where can we find you online, Dennis? Because I hear that you've been spending a lot of time in the lab recently.
Well, you can find me on Facebook, of course. You can go to dennis-u.com, or you could just go to fb.com/DennisU.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
The journey of a customer to a purchase. Not many people talk about that. I'd love to hear how you've been doing a lot of interesting things in that area. How do you map that process?
Well, I mean, links on your WordPress site that need to be reviewed. How can you do this easily? Simple. Link Patrol scans your entire site. Link Patrol gives you a breakdown of all the authors, domains, and anchor text associated with your link.